Type a 1 if you can hear me. 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 Oh, okay. Yeah, can. You guys can't hear me. What's going on, y'all? I haven't used this in over a year. The XSplit thing. Yeah, can. You guys can't hear me. So what's going on, I don't know if it's gonna. I haven't used this. I stopped using a year over a year ago because you can. You guys great quality, so, but I don't know. It it slows up sometimes. It was slowing up when I used it, so I switched to the one everybody uses. I forget the name of it. Stream yards or whatever. Stream whatever. Somebody says an echo. The echo should be gone now because I just muted my YouTube screen. Yeah, bear with me. It took me a long time to set this up because I haven't used it in so long. But how is everyone doing today? How's everybody doing? Let me go back up. What's up? 8MC investigations, 8-minute crimes. I see you got a new case coming up. If you guys want to see some compelling, very compelling interrogations, I suggest you guys check out 8MC investigation. He's working very hard, a one-man show over there, doing everything by himself, making sure we get this information that put a lot of insights to cases, because a lot of times these things are sealed until someone do the real investigation and ask for these records. And then when it comes to the Virgil Messer-Smith trial, if you see any interrogation videos out there on YouTube or YouTube Shorts, that information came from 8MC Investigation. So I want to give them a shout out. My boo-boo, Megan, my mod, and my mod brunch mom. I'm so happy to see y'all. I'm gonna go live, especially on this trial right here. Pretty much anytime there's a new update, I'll go on it. I'm gonna follow it the entire time. I was very, very close to the Gannon Stauch case. I was shocked when I made my video on this for you guys who haven't seen it, and Gannon Stauch's biological mother posted that video immediately. Posted my video on the Facebook page and in the Facebook group, and then his father liked the documentary video that I made for him, which was shocking because I felt like I came on a little later than everybody else. Shout out to Adrian. I see you there. The Divine Mrs. Jones. I like that name. The Divine Mrs. Jones. Beautiful disaster. Mom of 4. I see you in the building, Mom of 4. Thank you for the recent support you've been showing to the channel. All the new subscribers. Got 36,000 subscribers now. Maybe if I stay consistent this time, we can get this thing up to 100K where it belonged years ago. Shout out to the Chick channel. Yes, smudges and prayers, Xena with fire. I see you. I'm going to have to read y'all stuff because now that I'm not using the StreamYard program, I can't post your comments on the page. I probably could. I'll figure it out with this program. But I just like the quality of this. That Chick channel, I see all of you guys. Half Rudder is in the building. Thanks for coming by to show support as always. My boo-boo one dab, Miss Hot Sauce herself is in the building. I got it's nice to see my mods who've been supporting me throughout the years and staying consistent and rocking with your boy. On the AMC, I don't know if you noticed this right here. Well, you don't really use music, but something I noticed has happened that's going on with YouTube, right? So I have a video up and I have permission from the creator of the orchestra or personnel or people who created the music for the documentaries. It'll sit on my channel for years with low views. The moment a lot of views start coming up, like with the Vera documentary, the moment lots of views come in, the owner of said music will then go and strike my channel. Not to give me a strike. They'll strike it so that all the money that came in from me hiring actors, from me doing research, from me editing, just because I use a piece of their music, at any time on YouTube, even if you have permission to use someone's stuff, they can take that permission away. So Everything that comes in on YouTube, as YouTube pays out on the 21st of each month, anything that comes in, it is going to the orchestra now. So I don't receive any funds on this channel on any documentary that you guys watch of mine that has music in it. And it is happening all over YouTube. So if you guys want to offer support, that if you've been with me for a while, you know I actually use the funds that go back into my channel. Mic upgrade came from the funds, mic stand, light setting, multiple cameras around here. I started with one little camera. I had like 3-4 cameras now. They all came from either Patreon and for people who showing support to either Cash App or PayPal, because there's nothing else. I can do it. I don't need music, because if you watch my Gannon Stauch video that I made, there is no music in it. It's just me and a black background. So I'll bystep that for the future, but I'm not going to lie to you guys. I'm a visual creator. So if I feel that something matches and it can offer, it can help me drive home the point that I'm trying to drive when I do a case, I will keep the music in there, even though I know that it'll demonetize the entire video. Another YouTube creators call me stupid for that, but I'm a passionate person when it comes to creating a vision. So if it means I don't get nothing, then I don't get nothing if it's going to make that look better in my presentation. So I can't promise I'll do them without music from now on, but if I do, you guys see other ways you can support the channel. You can join the Patreon, or you can support those 2 ways at the top of the screen. As I last left this case, Letecia Stauch was pleading insanity. She wasn't saying that she's not competent for trial. And I saw a video today where they was talking about the actual differences. And they made a great point when they were talking about if you're found guilty, you'll just sit in the prison. Right now, you're sitting in the jail, so we can proceed further to give you a speedy trial. That's where I last left off. And I would assume for everyone who's been on this every single day for the past 3 years that we are all thinking the same thing. This is an S show, to say the least. You guys know what I mean when I say an S show. It's an S show. There's absolutely no way. I'd be surprised if her lawyer hasn't tried to get her, that hasn't tried to resign from the case, because there is absolutely no way that I see that she's going to be able to say that she's insane, because from the evidence that we have so far, it is a lot of premeditation. I actually saw a video while I was setting this up. Many of you have seen, I have not, where she's getting on to Gannon and he says, "I'm bleeding." That crushed me. The layout at the bottom of the screen, all this stuff, getting this set up took a long time. And as I'm setting this up, I'm just listening to videos about Letecia Stauch and Gannon Stauch. And that one made me stop in my tracks. Megan said, "John, she's had multiple evaluations ordered by the court." It looks to me like this is some kind of stalling tactic. I don't know why you would stall to go to prison if you're in jail right now. The only way out of jail is to go through trial. Either way, you're sitting up and you're not going to enjoy your life. I personally think, what's up, Erica Cooper? I personally think that you're not going to get out of prison. You're not going to get out ever. I listened to that video a couple times and I couldn't hear that. Well, let's just watch it. Let's watch it as a family live. You're going to have to disregard if you hear any snoring. That's my Frenchie behind me, knocked out in his cage. We can listen to that live and see, can we hear anything ourselves? She wants to go to the loony bin. That's not going to happen. Matter of fact, let's do this. Let's do this. I just want to count out premeditation. All right, bear with me because remember, this is my first time doing this. I'm gonna watch this in 480 so I won't make my computer go any slower. If I'm correct, all I have to do is add source. Ooh, this looks completely different. Desktop capture, monitor. Oh, this looks so much better than it did a year ago with this. I had to do many updates. Actually, I don't want the whole thing though. I just want one window, desktop capture, smart selection. I don't like this. How about this right here? Let me push this out by itself and now let's see what happens. Now let's go back to it. Add source. That's not. Still not gonna do it. Let's do smart selection. Yeah, that's not gonna work. I'm sorry, I'm learning while I'm live, y'all, because this setup. I used to could just click one window instead of the entire thing. I think I got a way around this. Let's see. Copy. Let me paste this web page URL, and this should do it. Let's see. Oh, I like that. I like that. Even though I don't like the window, I like that. All right, I'm gonna leave this up for y'all, but I can't see that. That's too small. So while y'all look at that, I'm gonna look at the real window over here. And as I go down, I'll try to go down on both. All right, so we're gonna start at. It's a case that stayed with many of us and shocked people around the nation. On January 27th of 2020, Stauch was reported missing from his Colorado home. For weeks, the community and police officers searched for him. I don't like this article because a lot happened in that one sentence that says for weeks. I want something more detailed, such as her actions that happened that day. Because they've already skipped a lot. This is not a timeline. I don't know what this is. They've already gone to where his body was found. No, this not it. This not it, Chief. Hold on. Okay, here we go. I found another one. So let me switch. I found a better one. Actually, you know what? Hold on, you guys.
Zyrtec starts working hard at hour 1. And works twice as hard when you take it again the next day. So you can find more ways to seize the day.
All right, thank you, you guys. I'm back again. I haven't used this system in like a year, so um, I'm trying to learn on the job, as they say. January 27th, Gannon is reported missing by his stepmother, Letecia Stauch. She told the El Paso County Sheriff's Officer he left home between 3:15 p.m. and 4 p.m. local time. We know that's not to be true, but this is the lie that she told on January 27th. So walk to a friend's house in Colorado Springs. Remember, I'm reading this, and what I'm looking for is premeditation. To me, already lying about this shows that you're not insane. The initial, because if you think about it, if you're insane, why are you thinking that? Why are you even thinking that you need to lie? You know, she wants to go to the lonely bin. I think I froze. I hope that you're unfroze. Let me get this off my face. Thank you very much. So I'm going through this just to see just how bad of a case she has, right? This is 3 days later, January 30th. Gannon's disappearance is now classified as a missing endangered persons case. The sheriff's office asked anyone with information to call authorities and blast what was described as misinformation on social media about the case. Officials did not specify exactly what misinformation to which they were referring. February 3rd. This is still not detailed enough because we know of the multiple lies. We know during this time already that the family wasn't trusting her, that her own husband, the father of Gannon Stauch, wasn't trusting her. So these things aren't really that detailed. She says, I took care of Gannon for the last 2 years in our home. I would never, ever hurt this child unless she has the kind of insanity that makes her lose her memory. It looks like she's lying, which means that she is not insane. She continues and says, and I know there are some questions out there that's up to the investigations when they end up letting you guys know. But I've corroborated with them. She told the news KKTV, we are going to find Gannon, and that's the main goal that we all have. I just heard that before this live, too. I'm just ready for Gannon to come home. That makes me sick. It makes it hard for me to not cuss and go crazy on this live. I'm trying to be mature here. That you could murder an innocent child so much that blood splatters on the wall by his bed. It is leaking through his bed, through the mattress, under that mattress, through box spring, all the way to the floor, to the cement. That you could do this to a child and you can look at a TV camera and say, I'm just ready for Gannon to come home. She said the family has received more than 20 death threats. I'm willing to bet that the family, if we add the entire family up to 20 death threats, that the score is 0 death threats for anyone biologically related to Gannon Stauch, and all 20 death threats going to her. But I'm willing to bet that there are more than 20 death threats going to her. Look, help me out with this timeline, you guys. Help me out with this timeline. As they're not giving enough information, I'm sorry, I'm not moving down for you guys. I'm only moving down for me. I'm sorry. Okay, I'm sorry. This is where I was because I have to move it down differently for you all. Okay, I can read this. I got good eyes. I can read this. I'm gonna read what y'all reading right there at the top corner, right there above my handwriting. I'm gonna read that right there. I'm gonna read that. So we'll do this together. But as you guys in the chat, as I go through this and they skip through dates, feel free to type the in between stuff that they missed that we knew of during the trial. Isabella Elaine says, I hit that thumbs up on my way in. Thank you, Isabella Elaine. Hey, John, great to see you. Thanks, Jess Kozak. Did I get your name right? Loyalty. I like that name. You know what I'm saying? You got to have loyalty. Sometimes you got to have it twice. Did they ever find his body? Yes, they found his body. They found his body in Florida, where she was traveling to be with her family as she was afraid for her life, rightfully so, because the public wasn't buying her BS. Dave Wazeman Blaze Podcast. What's up, Dave in the building? Shout out to my man Dave coming from the battle rap community to watch me do some true crime. Okay, let's continue forward. Reading this little window at this top. All right, you're saying those involved in the search was the FBI. All right, we already knew this. Let's go to February 4th. A neighbor comes forward with surveillance footage that says, why am I reading over here? I can just move it right here. A neighbor comes forward with surveillance footage that he says shows Letecia Stauch leaving the house with him and returning hours later. We knew this, and we know exactly where they went. We actually know the text messages from the father who was contacting his son, and then the father who thought he was contacting his son, but he was really contacting Letecia Stauch. Neighbor Roderick Drayton told ABC News he decided to look through his footage. Once the search intensified and saw Stauch getting into a red pickup truck. This is the footage that we saw that was famous on television some years ago when this was first released. Monday morning, I think that says 10:13. The footage also shows Gannon walking slowly as he approaches and gets into the truck, according to him. When she returns in the truck at 2:19 p.m., Gannon is nowhere to be seen. If you premeditate a murder and you have the whereabouts to know to lie to his father, this is another notch that's going to show that you're not insane. Crazy, jealous of a little kid because the father loves his child, but you're not insane. Dana Wright says, premeditated, looking for a man without children. Google search before Gannon was hurt. That's what I'm talking about. Those are the things. This is an S show. This is an S show. This is a waste of the public's time. This is a waste of 12 people having to be on a jury. There's absolutely no way she's going to get off on this. Under the bridge, and for some reason, I have a picture in my head of her daughter throwing it from the car while driving. I don't know all that. I don't know if I'm going to buy into that, Jess. I don't think Letecia Stauch's daughter knew what was going on, in my opinion. All right. He just broke down crying and said she lied. She lied about the time he didn't go to a friend's house. So the neighbor showed the footage to Gannon's father, his biological father, and his biological father broke down crying and said she lied. Hey, yo, you gotta go. You gotta go, son. You cannot stay in my house. You're the last person being seen with my son. He's with you all day, and you got stories that are not adding up. You're telling the public that he went away with somebody, and we got surveillance footage of him getting into a truck with you. You can't tell. You can't stand my way. This is something you have a couple's argument over. This is something that you need to leave because I'm afraid I'm going to make you leave, and it won't be good. So we get to February 5th the next day, where the biological parents come forward with information. Says a kid just doesn't disappear and no one sees them. So if you have anything that's credible, if you're afraid, don't worry about it. Imagine my son. Imagine how afraid he is. Sadly enough, that's very, very hard to take in because we know that Gannon was no longer breathing at this moment. Gannon's young sister Layla also sat down with the parents for the statement. And that's the most scariest thing that I touched on when I did the video on this is that Gannon is downstairs deceased, and his sister gets home from school, and she's alone with the stepmother where she could have easily have taken her life. And this little girl will never understand the kind of danger that she was in at this moment. February 16th, authorities provide the latest update for the search for Gannon. They received 555 tips. Still, he hasn't been found. On March 2nd, she's arrested and held without bond in Horry County. Type of 1. If you've never seen my video on this case, type of 1. Letecia be in jail, still waiting for that apology. Sarah Lee says, Oh no. Sarah Lee says, I often wonder if she killed him because she didn't like him or out of spite for his mom. Premeditated. Okay, I read that one. Yo, my phone didn't die. At what point in the timeline did she do those news interviews? Wasn't that around February 4th? It was pretty early on. Your video in this case is how I found you. It was amazing. Thank you, Oopsie Loopsie. Rented a budget rental van and then bought a cell phone in Trinidad. Hey man, we can't do no Trinidad insults over here. You know what I'm saying? Nah. What's the cheapest I can find a Canon M50? Do you have a cheaper alternative suggestion? I think Canon M50s are around $350 to $400 right now. I think if you go to eBay. Yes, she's guilty. I don't like to speculate, but I guess we have no choice but to speculate when we talk about why would she do something like this, because we will never know why she would do something like this. I don't think it had anything to do with the mother, because the mother was all the way across the country, I think in South Carolina. I think sometimes, and I've seen it, not to the extent that we talking about murder, but I've seen couples, I've seen situations where a parent is just being a regular parent. They're going to have that love for their child. And then the person that they're dating is getting jealous for this love for their child. This was this man's only son. This was his only son. Not a lot of fathers have custody of their children. So when you think about a man and his only son, you think about a man coming home from work, coming home from the National Guard. You think about a man wanting to go play catch and do the things that a father want to do with his son. If you have someone like Letecia, I think that would drive her to want to remove him. She's used to girls. She has her own daughter. She's not building in his hatred for his daughter. It looks like she's basing her hatred only on Gannon. Diana Wright says she killed him because she wanted revenge against Al, who she thought was cheating on her in spite for Landon. Evil. I don't know. Anything that anybody says is plausible. But I think you want someone to know if you want to hurt them because they cheated on you. Based on her Google search, it looks like her husband was going to leave her, but also she shows resentment for Landon. Yes, I see that. Hey, John and Ma's chat, did they ever find his Switch, which took things away from that they coveted his son and his game? No, I don't think they ever found his Nintendo Switch. She was jealous that Landon wasn't burdened with children and got to do that tattoo magazine photos. There was a lot of searches about her just being over it, being a step parent. But I don't understand, like, did she just want to slightly lessen her load? Because you still was going to be a step parent. He still has a daughter. It was revealed that Letecia Stauch rented a budget rental van and then bought a cell phone in Trinidad in early February of 2020. Remember, John, she did mention, wonder if Landon will send me a Valentine's Day card. Wondering if he would send her a Valentine's Day card. That's what I'm saying. It could be the jealousy that a father has for a son. These two children that he loved too much are getting in my way of what I want, my selfish love that I want from my husband. If I can lessen his load by getting rid of one of them, who knows? Maybe she was planning if she had more time to go for both. I don't know. Yes, Diane, she did. I forgot about that. I want to play this video, but I wonder about plunder. I don't want them to give me a strike. I don't want them to strike me because I want to play a portion of that video. I know they had some like beef. Let me see, can I find a video somewhere? Oh, man. First one that pulls up, plunder. bullets from gun in Stauch home consistent with bullets found with Gannon's body. Saying that a black guy did it. No, it's first saying a Hispanic robber did it and came in and Gannon fought you off and all of this stuff. Then you go and you see, I think, the top 10 most wanted in that area. So you see a black guy on a poster, then you switch to blaming on him. I don't see how any of this shows insanity. I think it shows stupidity. I think it shows desperation, but it definitely doesn't show insanity. I don't see this video footage anywhere. I don't see this footage anywhere except for plunder. All right, I'm gonna go to some footage. I'll go to some footage I know I can show. Where I 110% will not get flagged. If I get flagged for showing this footage, you guys will see John Crimes in a fight. Not footage, but this video. Not footage. It's just somebody I know that's going to give me some details. Splish splash, I was taking a bath. Yeah, buddy.
Junk sleep got you all jumbled up? During Mattress Firm's Big Spring Sale, get a king bed for the price of a queen and save up to $700 on Sealy. Plus, get a free adjustment.
She's like a sickness in my brain.
No, she's not. Someone said Plunder just won't give her credit. She's nice. She won't get insanity, I'm sure, because multiple evals were ordered. My guess is that she wasn't happy with any of the results. I mean, I'm familiar with Plunder's channel, but I miss what is going on with that. I don't know. I stay out of people's stuff. Plunder is a she, and Coop just give her credit, and could just give her credit. So YouTube don't work like that. Some people are like, yeah, you gave me credit, but nah, I'm still gonna go ahead and flag it down. So
with what we didn't know from the
and yes, I knew Plunder was a woman.
affidavit, and then try to kind of put together a theory at the end of it. So it's going to be broken up into probably 3 parts, just because it's a very long rest affidavit. And I want to give this case the attention and the care and the thought that it deserves. I'm a little late doing this just because I have been for the past month trying to sit down and get through this affidavit and create a video for you guys about Gannon Stauch, because I know everybody wanted updates, but this case hit me hard.
She's like a sickness in my brain. A vision standing by the window.
Similar and related note, the documentary The Chair is the story of the very first electric chair execution, the people involved, the development.
I want it full screen, but I want to be able to pause it. Okay, maybe if I put it right here.
Steal her identity at this point. It also gives a Gannon's name and birth date, 9/29/2008. September 29th is my wedding anniversary. It's a very special day for me. It makes me very, very sad that Gannon's birthday
See what I'm saying?
was on September 29th, because Gannon is very special to me. It says that the person
There we go.
who wrote this is Jessica Bethel, a duly sworn and state-certified police officer and detective with the El Paso County Sheriff's Office, known from now on as EPSO, because we're not going to keep saying El Paso County Sheriff's Office, EPSO. And she has been employed as such since 2010. She says she's participated in other law enforcement investigations, including homicide investigations, child abuse, weapons violation, assaults, and other violations of Colorado revised statutes. She says she's familiar with social media networks and electronic methods of communication. She's attended a 1-week crime scene analysis training course through the Colorado Bureau of Investigation. She's also relied on other investigators from outside agencies with more investigative training and experience, including, but not limited to.
There we go. We're going to hit this baseball. One thing I learned about YouTube, you do not have to pay attention to the negativity. You can just not bring, you don't have to make all it does is make people feel like they're important when they're not. You can just turn the other way.
To the FBI, Special Agent Andrew Cohen, and FBI Special Agent David Donati. Item 2 states that the detective who wrote this, Jessica Bethel, submits the following facts to demonstrate probable cause to believe that on or about January 27th, 2020, in the county of El Paso in the state of Colorado, the defendant Letecia Stauch, also known as aka Letecia Hardin, did commit the following offenses, hereinafter referred to as the violations. Now, this is important, and I want to point it out. They will often say this in the affidavit, on or about, believed to be. So what you're reading in this affidavit is not obviously fact. It's not information that has been gathered and analyzed after an arrest and a trial and a confession. It's what they believe happened based on the evidence that they found in their investigation. And that's going to come up a couple of times, and I think it's good that they did kind of leave.
Fam, I would like to ask for a favor. If you ever negative opinions you have about other YouTubers, could we just not bring it up in the chat? Could we pretty please? It's cool. Everybody don't have to like everybody. But I wouldn't go to somebody's house and just bring up negative things about people that they're friends with. I just would be focusing on the case. That's not.
A little bit of an opening there for some of these things to not be correct. So the violations are murder in the first degree, child under 12, position of trust, child abuse resulting in death, tampering with a deceased human body, and tampering with physical evidence. I'm going to skip a little bit because basically she's just saying why she believes these things, personal observations, training experience, information obtained from other agents, law enforcement officials, and witnesses. So why do I think this stuff? This is why. Now, item 5, once again, is going to go back to what I just said, how they have probable cause to believe these things, how they believe on or about, or this may have happened. And she basically says that much of this affidavit was prepared by FBI Special Agent Cohen, but that she's reviewed the below facts carefully and has no reason to doubt any investigators' accuracy or truthfulness in their reports. This affidavit is intended to show merely that there is sufficient probable cause for the requested warrant and does not set forth all of my knowledge about this matter. Because I really feel like a lot of people read this, and it came out or was leaked after Letecia was arrested, and I believe after Gannon's remains were found, this was leaked. So I think a lot of people read it and thought that it was kind of the end-all be-all, but we have to keep in mind that this was written 2 weeks before Gannon was found. So she says in item 7, investigators have executed physical search warrants and collected evidence from vehicles associated with Letecia, cellular devices utilized by Letecia, and from the residence of Letecia. Electronic search warrant.
How is this not a waste of the public's time, fam? I just don't understand. It should be thieves in our court system. Well, actually there is. Why does she get to plead insanity? And there are other times where people have tried to plead insanity and it's nah, they wouldn't even let them plead it. How can you allow her to plead insanity and waste the court's time like this? You have an insane person is not going to have the know-it-all to go and buy burner phones and to bury your body at multiple different locations, lie. It's just so overwhelming before it begins. It's just like a total waste of the public's time to me.
Warrants have been executed to entities including, but not limited to, Facebook, Apple Inc., Google
Kiana.
Inc.
Is that Kiana talking? Look at my little emoji. Look at the little beard. Look at the little beard. Thank you for joining. Really appreciate that. Let me know if it's Quiana or Kiana, Miss Tucker. But really appreciate that.
AT&T Wireless, Verizon Wireless, ADT Security System, Tile, Life 360, Yahoo, and Ring doorbell service. Some of the physical evidence has been examined by a laboratory for DNA profiles. Investigators also recovered a significant amount of exterior video footage from individual privately owned neighborhood security cameras, businesses around Colorado Springs, Colorado, and cameras in other surrounding areas. Some cameras provided recorded footage of the exterior of the Stauch residence. So,
What was the other cameras besides the neighbor? Was there any other cameras besides the neighbor's house getting in the truck? 90% of the world is crazy. Mental illness doesn't give the okay to murder someone. You are absolutely correct, Jess.
starts off by saying the Stauch family and general information. The Stauch family is a blended family, and all will be discussed at various points below.
Love
This
you, Brunch
representation
Mom.
purposely has little details in order to give an overview of the family structure. So it says the father is Eugene Al Stauch. We'll call him Al. The stepmother is Letecia Stauch. We'll call her T. That's because that's what I refer to her in my notes. It was a shorter.
I do the smallest thing in life, the tiniest thing in life, and I go back on my decision. I go like, that was just, I didn't have to do that. You have forever to spend in prison. Your existence from the depths of the dirt to the zygote, no, from the sperm to the zygote to the baby. You got one life you have to live, and I just wonder with the rest of this one life you have to live in prison, on that first day when you know that they slapped those handcuffs on you, do you go back and look at the life you could have had? You're middle class. Someone loves you enough to trust you to be the stepmother to their two children and loves your daughter. Your daughter's there like his own. You have a mixed family, the freaking Brady Bunch. You can go out to eat to Chili's or some family restaurant, have a couple of drinks and be a family, go watch Netflix with your husband, do all the things middle class American family do. But the gamble, the need to just want that little bit more. I think he cool. I like him. I think he likes me. I'm here in this position, but I think he'd like me more if he didn't have that son in the way that he loves. That gamble right there. You know, you flustered, you don't know what to do. You become discombobulated once there's two different stories. She has more than two. Screw all the rest of the stories. Once you make the decision to switch to another story, you got to feel that heat coming around the corner from the police department, from your husband, from everybody involved looking at it. You got to feel that heat coming towards you because you can't go back. Once you say this happened and then you say that happened, you know how people looking at you, because you know how you would look at someone if you was at your home with your husband, your two stepchildren, and your daughter watching this happen to another family across the country. You know how you would feel. So you become really discombobulated when you at that third story that has nothing to do with the first two. He went off by himself. Oh, no, he didn't go off by himself. Some Mexican robber guy came into the house. It's far-fetched. But you have nothing else to grasp. You have nothing else to go on because you did it and it's looking at you. The police department, the FBI, detectives, they get a lot of do-overs. They can try this theory, don't work. They can try all these pieces. You get all these different theories coming from all these different detectives coming together. They can try. You only get one shot. You have to be perfect when you commit a murder. You get one shot. By the time we get to the Mexican, we 3 stories in and you got another story with some black guy. You got to feel that heat. You got to wonder, damn, was all of this worth it? To take this innocent child's life. That's the part of me that agrees with her that she's crazy. You're fucking crazy. You're crazy. You're not legally insane. I'm just saying you're figuratively crazy. To lack the empathy of another boy to grow up into a man. To say that you ever had vows and you love this man, and you take one of the most precious gifts he'd ever received and he ever give to the world, you take that from him. I think you're fucking crazy. Just not legally.
To write than Letecia. The daughter is Harley Hunt. Now, this is the daughter of Letecia by blood, not Al Stauch, and she is a minor child, 17 years of age. We also have Gannon Stauch, minor, 11 years of age, related.
So that means her daughter's about, what, 20 years old now? Maybe 19, 20 years old. I think Stephanie did this video in 2020. Well, it still should be 20 years old. I keep forgetting. My brain is still processing like it's 2022, even though we are past the first quarter, or passing the first quarter now in another week of 2023. Kiana says, I can't even process it mentally because it is just so wrong. It is really, really hard to try to process something like that because, like Lauryn Hill's song says, it could all be so simple. One of the hardest lines in music ever. I think about that every time something crazy. It could just be so simple. It could just be so simple. This kid is supposed to be in middle school now. Supposed to be getting ready to go to high school in the fall. Gannon's supposed to be getting ready to go to high school in the fall, y'all. And she caught him right at the last ending. She caught him at the last chance she had to take his life. Because in a couple more years, he would have been strong enough to defend himself. She probably wouldn't have been able to handle a boy in middle school, a little kid in high school, one-on-one, home alone with no one there but them two. She did this the last opportunity she had to do it.
Related by blood to Al, not Letecia. And then we have Al's daughter, Lena Stauch, minor, 8 years of age, once again related by blood to Al and not Letecia. The following vehicles will be discussed at various points below. We have a red Nissan Frontier. That was Al Stauch's truck. We have a black Volkswagen Tiguan. Now that's Letecia's main car. We also have a white Volkswagen Jetta. That's Harley, Letecia's daughter's main vehicle. And then there was 2 rental cars, a silver Nissan Altima and a white Kia Rio. The silver Nissan Altima was a rental that was obtained by Letecia's aunt, a woman named Brenda Acquired, and it was utilized by Letecia from January 30th to February 1st, 2020, and this was after her main...
That's why I said those timelines was very vague. I guess, the ABC News gives that stuff out for the public just to get a general idea. But, it skipped to February the 4th from January 27th, and look what happened in between here. You see she's already getting rental vehicles. Watching this trial will be like watching the Last of Us television show on HBO after I beat the game twice, because 90% of that stuff was scene from the game, word for word. You can put the scene next to it's like, I've never seen this show before in my life, but I already know everything that's going to happen. I've never seen this trial that's coming up in the future, but I already know everything that's going to happen. I already know, is...
main vehicle, the Tiguan, was seized by the El Paso County Sheriff's Office. And that happened on January 29th. And then the white Kia Rio was a rental car that was obtained and utilized by Letecia on January 28th to January 29th. Now remember, she rented this.
So if you guys watch my video on this, I talk about around this time this happened, I had to leave to go out of town to North Carolina on business, and I wasn't going to be there for my daughter's birthday. So I put myself right in his shoes as he had to leave for the weekend for his child. Both of us came back in town, but one of us only came back to see our child again. He didn't come back to see Gannon. I saw my daughter. So on this day that Stephanie's talking about, that was my daughter's birthday, January 28th. I don't make up stuff in my videos. Everything I say is spot on the truth. Right around the time he was going out of town for business, I was going out of town for business as well. I just think he went on the weekend, and I went during that week, if I'm not mistaken.
White Kia Rio before her main car.
Matter of fact, I don't work for him anymore, so I can say it. I was working for Motorola, and it was very top secret at this time that they were coming out with the new phone that bends, which is a lot of bending phones now, a lot of phones with a screen fold in, a Samsung Flip. But like this was, we went to the headquarters and we saw them engineer, we saw them make it. We got to go into all of these different rooms and see the science behind it. It was pretty cool. Then they gave us one. So that's what I was doing that weekend. Had to fly to town, and because I worked there as a senior marketing manager at Motorola during the time.
The Volkswagen was seized by the sheriff's department. We have some background information.
Junk Sleep has Mia traveling.
Like, give me the opportunity. Can I please? It clicks so fast that it just goes back. I don't want this. Yeah, there we go. So I don't like this window because I pay for this. So we don't have commercials, but I'm using a different window that's not taking the payment. That's not using your account. Hold on. I'm going to do a practice run before I go live again. Just to make sure I got how I want to do things down. Because I don't like learning on the air. When I hit the button once, it's hitting it twice. So it's unmuting it and muting it again. No matter like what, one click. That's not. That's not.
Before her main car, the Volkswagen, was seized by the sheriff's department. We have some background information on Letecia Stauch here. It says that she is the last person known to investigators to see 11-year-old Gannon Stauch alive. Letecia is Gannon's stepmother and was Gannon's only known adult supervision in the days preceding and on the day of his murder. At the time of Gannon's murder...
You're right, Diana. You know, we wouldn't know this without that phone. We got the movement in the house from the motion sensors. We got the neighbor. The neighbor was big on having those things. It's gonna be very hard for people to commit murder now. Like, everybody got Ring doorbells. Everything can track you. All your neighbors can track you to going into a public place where there's cameras all around. Are there any new recent serial killers? It may be hard to be a serial killer, especially like the old school serial killers that like leave clues and stuff. It wouldn't last that long. Oh, John, you're fine learning on the air. I'm just glad you're doing this. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Every day I come on and I look at my notifications. This person is live. I'm just going updates. Gray Hughes lives to go live for updates. I say, you know, will it really hurt you, John? Will it really hurt you? Stop all the things you're doing that you got going on in your life. Just sit here and go live and go over the things, especially the cases that I've been emotionally attached to, such as this case here. So I will go live. Someone mentioned earlier, this is going to shock y'all. Like, when I say I leave, I leave. Someone says nothing will beat the Darrell Brooks trial. I have no idea who that is. I know that's a case that must be really popular because a lot of people mention him. I don't know how he looked. I'd assume he killed someone. I don't know any details. When I went away, I literally went away. Your camera is so clear. Thank you, thank you, thank you. StreamYards, which most YouTubers use when they go live, it downgrades your quality. So you can't really see how good someone's camera is. That's why I said if I'm going to go live, I got to give them that John Crimes experience. So I got to blow dust off my XSplit program and get back to work to look how I like to look. The only thing I don't like is I can't post your comments. Maybe, hold on, let me try something right here. Let me try something right here. Let me see, can I put your comments on the screen? It may not work. All right, I'll do this on my next live. There's a widget I could throw on the side and then have your comments directly on the screen. Oh, Darren Brooks about to represent himself again in court date. I guess he's the guy who's representing himself. Okay. Oh, it's John. That was the guy who drove through the Christmas parade. Darren Brooks drove through the Christmas parade. I didn't know anybody drove through a Christmas parade. Megan, you should know of all people. When I say I'm gone, I'm gone. Darren Brooks is absolutely the infuriating waste of a human. So I'm assuming from these comments that the Darrell Brooks guy is also a S show, right? If he's drove through a Christmas parade and he's representing himself in court, so it's almost like a train wreck that's hard to turn away from. Wow. I guess I missed a lot. So, when I was doing true crime, we say, well, there's a big case of the year. What's the case? So let's go back. So 2018? Was that 2018? Would have been Chris Watts. What would have been 2019? Was 2019 the year of Lori Vallow? I like to call her Lori Daybell. Or was Lori Daybell 2020? And then you had cases such as the other Colorado wife that went missing for a long time. I don't think her body's been found, but I think they tried to charge her husband. What was the big case of 2022? In 2021 would have been, what's the case? All the crazy YouTubers jumped on and make some money real quick before people realize they are frauds and shouldn't be doing this. Summer Wells case, yeah. The Summer Wells would have been, what, 2021? The girl who was traveling in the camper with her boyfriend, and they found her body, and then he committed suicide in the swamps of Florida. Yeah, Gabby Petito. That would have been, what, would that have been 2022? So what is 2023 so far? Is that Darrell Brooks? Is Darrell Brooks coming in 2023? This is the 2023 case. Everybody jumping on. There's always the case. I don't care. There's always the case. The crazy people come out and everybody flock to it. What's the 2023 case? I'm gonna say Gabby was 2021. Wow, time flies. The crime in itself is just heartbreaking and it's soul shattering, but the trial was a guilty pleasure of a train that I could not look away from. I guess I won't be doing a documentary on that. The Murdaugh trial. I've been hearing the name Murdaugh. The Murdaugh, but I don't know what happened. I don't know who that is. Darrell trial was about a year ago. Megan, that's crazy. I saw update YouTube videos about him today. Does anyone know what's going on with Quentin Simmons trial? I don't know who that is. Like I literally have to start from scratch. I have to get back into doing true crime. What I would like, if you guys know of a case, I would like a case that the family or the victim made videos. If I'm honest, like Caitlin Nicole Davis made videos. Shannon Rusick made videos. Those are not always what you're gonna find, but when I sit here alone, I'm watching as I'm creating the documentary, it makes me understand who this person really is, which makes me fight harder to tell their story and get their story out there. Shanquilla Robinson, but there's no trial yet. Kylie Rodney was 22. Are you saying that these are people who's done this? Shanquilla Robinson. Someone came in my inbox, and there's another family too. I checked into my John Crimes. I have my own personal John Rhines channel page on Facebook, but I checked into my John Crimes inbox, and I went down everybody's messages, seeing cases, people leaving me, or families reaching out. And there is one that I am in contact with a family that I'm about to work on about a missing person. Shanquilla is probably the closest one. Okay, is that what we discussed last time when I went live? Before? People got so amped about the Gannon Stauch, or Letecia Stauch. What's Leticia's maiden name? I don't know if I feel comfortable calling her Stauch because I didn't feel comfortable calling Lori Vallow. Man, you gonna take that man's last name after you killed him and you went to marry somebody else? She wanted no part of the Stauch family. She murdered his son. What is her maiden name? I'm not calling Letecia. I'm not calling her that anymore. Okay, yeah, we talked about that on the last one. So she has multiple or other videos and stuff out there. I got comments today on my channel when people say, John, I really like the type of videos. At the end, you got the black screen. You talk to the killer. That's cool. I will only do that if the case is solved. Even if I really feel like you did it, I'm not going to make a video like that unless the case is solved and you're found guilty. Then I'll give a good mental verbal lashing to the killer in that case. I'll do videos like that. Louisiana girl said, I'm so super late. I still got love for you, Louisiana girl. Lori's trial is about to start too. Yes. I will be updating on the Lori Live. If I were to wrap this up, all today was jury trial selection. I didn't learn anything. The only thing that I'm confused on is, and maybe I'll look that up before I go live this time. I'll try to go live like 5 times a week. But the only other thing I'm confused on is on those court cases where someone is allowed, where someone is stopped from pleading insanity. What made these cases, why couldn't they plead insanity? And why can Letecia plead insanity? That's what I like to know. The Wells trial, I'm not covering Summer Wells. Absolutely not. I'm not touching that with a 10-foot pole. The Summer Wells case showed the absolute worst of the true crime community on YouTube. It absolutely disgusts me, and I feel sorry for that little girl. Leticia's maiden name is Harden. All right. When you come to John Crimes channel, she'll be known as Letecia Harden from now on. Of the Wells trial, the 2 boys that were adopted, yes. I definitely want to see that case. Definitely. If those parents killed those children, it's just really, really sad when you go back to the interview. You don't really know, like, they look so normal. Anytime, Louisiana girl. That looks so normal. I hope you guys check out my video I did on that as well, too. All right, so look.
Letecia was
I'm going to close this out. Listen to me. Listen to me. You do not have to believe me. All you got to do is stay subscribed. Click the bell icon or unsubscribe and subscribe back. Click the bell icon if you're not getting my updates. I'm telling you right now, I'm going to do this all the time. I'm going to go live about 5 times a week. We can talk about anything. We can look at any other cases while I'm working on my other stuff. I'm real. I'm as real as they come. I can't sit up here and fake the funk and give you the kind of quality that you guys like unless I totally throw myself into a case where I'm just sitting here with the lights off and it's just me at my computer and I'm just researching and looking all into this person's life. So there have been multiple new cases that has come to me. There was a Idaho 4 video. I'm not gonna lie, I didn't like it. Maybe I should put it out anyway, because people who been with me for years know when I dropped my Heart Kids video that first day, I didn't like it. Stephanie Harlow looked at me like I was crazy. Like, what you don't like about it? Like, I thought I could do better. Maybe I should put it out, but I didn't feel like I got to know the people, the people involved, if I'm being honest with you all. So I am mentally here. I want to work. I'm looking for that case that's gonna keep me up at night, like Caitlin case did, like Vera case did, like the Heart Kids case did. I'm looking for that case that has so much information that I'm gonna sink my teeth in through to, and I know instead of it being forced, once I find the case, I know 110% you're going to receive the kind of documentary that you guys like from me. It's just automatically going to happen. So my inbox is open, johncrimes@gmail.com. Join Patreon. I'll make sure you do anything to support the channel, because I already know YouTube is not going to support my stuff. They're not going to support my stuff. I'm a little bit more grittier than the average true crime YouTuber that sits down and talks. So until then, I'll see you guys very, very soon. More than likely, I'll see you guys tomorrow. And then if I do see you tomorrow, there's no update. There's nothing going on with the Gannon Stauch. There's no, he is in normal rotation. We can dive more into the Shanquilla Robinson. Let's dive into Shanquilla Robinson. Until then, don't kill, make a sandwich, and I'll see you guys soon.